Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Diana and I'm a registered dietitian and certified diabetes care and education specialist. Today's episode is something that's really near and dear to my heart and Jose's as well. It's 7 ways to make traditional Latino food more diabetes friendly. And for those of you who don't know, I actually grew up part of my life in Puerto Rico. My mom is Puerto Rican, I'm half Puerto Rican, and we moved there when I was about 13 years old. I spent some of middle school and all of high school there until I moved to the United States for college. But my family still lives there, my parents are there, and so I travel back quite often, always going home for the holidays and then a few other times throughout the year. And then Jose was born in Peru and he lived there until he was about 13, I think, as well, and he moved to the United States. So his family all still lives there as well. So we have very strong Latino roots. And so I'm excited to talk about ways to make our traditional food just a little bit more diabetes friendly, because there are definitely ways to do it without sacrificing on flavor and taste. So traditional Latino cuisine, of course, varies greatly depending on what country you go to. There are common elements that may impact our blood sugar levels. So for example, the types of grains we use, the type of cooking preparations, the types of desserts and added sugars. And so with some simple swaps, simple changes, we can improve our meals so that they are more diabetes friendly. Because unfortunately, the research shows that people who are Hispanic or Latinos do have a greater risk of developing type 2 diabetes. In fact, let me read you this statistic. Research indicates that Latinos have a 50% higher likelihood of developing diabetes compared to non-Hispanic whites, with nearly 17% of adult Latinos living with diagnosed diabetes. So it makes dietary approaches to diabetes that much more important for our community. And instead of just replacing our cultural foods, it's better to modify them. And research shows that Latinos are much more likely to stick to new dietary interventions when we just modify the cultural foods instead of just changing them completely. So today I want to go over 7 tips on how to just make simple modifications to meals so that they are more blood sugar friendly and they're not contributing to worse outcomes for diabetes. So number 1 is going to be reimagining the rice that we use. So white rice is a staple among many different cuisines in the Latino culture, from Mexico to the Dominican Republic to Puerto Rico. Rice is in so many different dishes. But unfortunately, white rice is higher on the glycemic index and it does have the potential to spike our blood sugar levels. And when we look at the research, we see that when people eat more brown rice compared to white rice, they have a reduced risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, I'm not saying you need to give up your white rice because that it would be sacrilege. I would never say that. But for a better blood sugar response, try mixing in other grains to your rice. So you could try mixing in some brown rice or some quinoa or even some cauliflower rice. This is going to increase the fiber and increase the protein a bit, and it's going to lead to a more blood sugar friendly response. Plus, you're going to get more nutrients as well. I really like adding cauliflower rice to my white rice because you're pretty much increasing the volume without really necessarily increasing the amount of calories. So you're still eating the same amount of volume, but not necessarily the same amount of calories. You're slashing the calories when you're reducing your white rice consumption. And similarly, when preparing other rice-based dishes like arroz con pollo, you can add a ton of vegetables to those dishes to again increase the volume. The more vegetables we can pack into our dishes, the better it's going to be, and the less rice we're actually going to consume. Because of course, dietary swaps and modifications are important, but so is portion control. And by adding more vegetables to these dishes, it helps us regulate our portions a little easier. Okay, number 2 is going to be transforming bean preparations. So beans, whether you call them frijoles or habichuelas, they are such a foundation of Latino cuisine, and for good reason. I mean, beans are delicious, whether it's pinto or black beans, red beans, kidney beans, pink beans. They're all just so delicious and so versatile and so healthy. Beans contain protein, they contain fiber, complex carbs. They're one of the best things we can consume for our blood sugar. So the fact that they are such a big staple in Latino cuisine is incredible. In fact, we should be increasing our consumption of beans. There was some research published and it showed that increasing legume bean consumption by just 1 cup a day improved glycemic control in individuals with type 2 diabetes. So if you already have type 2 diabetes, increasing your bean intake can actually help you better manage your blood sugar. And after 3 months months of doing this, the participants saw significant reductions in their fasting blood sugar and their A1C levels over 3 months. So it showed that they had better glycemic control, they managed their blood sugar levels better, and then those big diabetes markers decreased after 3 months. So I will say, if you are making beans from a can, try to choose the lower sodium varieties, because sodium is something you do want to watch out for, especially if you have type 2 diabetes. Making beans from scratch is always a great way to avoid excess sodium, and just washing your beans from canned beans removes about 40% of that sodium, so give them a nice good wash. And instead of having meat with every single meal, are there bean-based dishes that you can consume in place of your meat dish? So for example, can you have sopa de lentejas, like a lentil soup, or ensalada de habichuela, or ensalada de frijole, like a bean salad? Having these, especially in place of meat, can do wonders for our overall and long-term blood sugar. Which kind of leads me into my next one, which is reimagining protein preparations. A lot of traditional Latino foods are cooked with very high-fat meats. So for example, like chorizo, chicharrón, which is fried pork skin, and other high-fat cuts of meat. These meats have been shown to increase insulin resistance, which is that root cause of type 2 diabetes. And it can also increase cholesterol levels over time, which can put us at an even greater risk for heart disease. So people with type 2 diabetes already face a greater risk of heart disease. So you have to be even more careful about your cholesterol levels. So by eating a ton of fatty meat, it can be detrimental to our health. So consider some of these modifications. You can swap those higher fat meats for leaner cuts. So for example, skinless chicken, fish, seafood, or plant-based options would all be leaner sources than those high-fat meats. For dishes that traditionally use like chorizo or ground meat, maybe try swapping it for like a lean ground turkey instead, or if you're feeling up to it, try even some tofu, some ground tofu. Instead of frying your meat, can you bake it or grill it? This will help also reduce the fat as well, because usually when we fry it, we add like either butter or oil, but if you can bake it or grill it, you're avoiding some of that fat as well. And then try to incorporate more seafood options, like for example, bacalao, which is cod, is a really great lean protein, which has omega-3s in it, which is good for our heart. And then also try, again, like I said before, incorporating more just plant-focused dishes where the protein is beans. So like a lentil soup, a bean salad, a chickpea stew. By doing this, you're going to drastically reduce that saturated fat, and you're also going to increase the fiber. So it's a win-win. You're reducing your risk for insulin resistance, the root cause of type 2 diabetes, and you're also increasing your fiber, which is going to help with your diabetes management. Next up is rethinking tortillas and bread products. So corn tortillas, which are often used in Mexican cuisine, is a great alternative for just regular flour-based tortillas. Corn tortillas typically contain more fiber, less carbs, and they're going to be lower on the glycemic index, meaning they're going to have less of an impact on your blood sugar. I always recommend sticking with the traditional corn tortillas. I know there are a lot of flour-based ones out there, but if you can stick to the traditional ones, that's going to be better for your blood sugar. When it comes to baking like pan de dulce and other baked goods, a lot of it comes from just white flour, but if you can do a combination of white flour and some whole grain varieties, that's going to help also increase the fiber and therefore reduce the impact on our blood sugar. And a lot of the time in baking, you can actually reduce the sugar and really not notice the difference. There's actually research to back it up. Research indicates that even reducing sugar by 25% in baking recipes rarely affects consumer acceptance of the finished product, meaning that you can reduce sugar in baked goods by up to 25%, and the person is not even going to be able to tell the difference. So try that out when you're baking. Try to reduce the sugar content by 25%. Okay, next up is going to be embracing vegetable forward cooking. So a lot of Latino cuisines already incorporate a lot of vegetables, but take advantage of this and double the vegetables. I always love to do this when cooking recipes. If I see there's an opportunity to add more vegetables in, I do it, because the more vegetables we can add in, the more nutrients, the more vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fiber that we're going to get. And it's also going to, again, increase the volume of our meal without necessarily really increasing the calories. That's what I love about vegetables. And vegetables are so good for type 2 diabetes. Nopales, for example, have actually been shown to help lower post-meal blood sugar in people with type 2 diabetes. So if you eat nopales already, don't be afraid to add more to your dishes. Other vegetables that are very common in Latino cooking are going to be things like calabacitas, jimaca, chayote, all varieties of peppers. These are all really great vegetables to add to our dishes. They're low in calories, low in carbs, and high in fiber, and they're really just going to add more nutrients and more volume to our dishes. So take advantage of these amazing vegetables and make them the center and the star of your dishes. For example, a dish I love to do are stuffed poblano peppers. I take those, I stuff them with tofu. I do a ground meat tofu. If you don't like tofu, you could do a lean protein like a lean turkey. And you could add some more vegetables, onions, peppers, tomatoes, and then I'll also add some brown rice in there as well. And it's a really satisfying meal. The poblano peppers are the star of the show. You have some protein, you have some whole grains, and it really has such a minimal impact on blood sugar. Next up is going to be moderating our beverages. So there's a lot of traditionally sweetened beverages in Latino cuisine like horchata, agua frescas, jamaica, and these often contain added sugars. And there's a very strong link between added sugar and type 2 diabetes. So if you are consuming a lot of these beverages, this would be a really good place to focus on. So you don't have to eliminate them completely, but try to really cut back because this is really going to help you, especially if you have type 2 diabetes. And then you can also create more diabetes friendly versions. So instead of using sugar, use natural flavor enhancers like vanilla, cinnamon, fresh fruit, or you could do a non-nutritive sweetener, something like a stevia or monk fruit. You could also dilute traditional beverages. So an agua fresca, maybe just have a little bit and then dilute the rest with more water. And my last tip is preserving celebration foods mindfully. So of course, we're going to have special occasions and there's going to be foods there that hold much more cultural significance that goes beyond nutrition. So whether it's a tres leches or churros or flan, it's okay to have these foods, but we want to just do so in a mindful way. And what does that mean? It means holding these foods for the purpose of what they are, special occasions. So if we limit these foods to more special occasion type events, then that creates more of a balance with our diet. So you're not completely restricting them, but you're reserving them for those special occasions. Another way to enjoy these mindfully is creating smaller portions. So instead of having a huge slice, maybe try something a little bit smaller. Have a few bites, get satisfied, and then move on. And like I mentioned before, if you can modify some of these recipes to have more whole grains and a little less added sugar, that's also going to help have less of an impact on your blood sugar. All right, those were my tips. I'd love to hear in your comments below if you have tips. What do you do? Remember, just because you have diabetes doesn't mean you need to give up your cultural foods. Many of our cultural food traditions were developed before the modern food environment and before we led mainly sedentary lifestyles. So think about these modifications as just another evolution of our cultural foods. By making simple modifications, you can still enjoy your cultural foods that you love, while also managing your diabetes. And remember that perfection with your blood sugar isn't the goal. Consistency and overall pattern matter more than occasional celebrations. All right, if you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you next week.